about it online. Your crew is experienced enough to figure it out should something like that happen. When you need to talk during the game, all members of the crews get together and talk. If a change must be made, the calling official will signal the change of the call. The UIC should remain close to assist in any discussions with the other head coach. As you know very well, we will probably have them. Do not miss rules or awards. You guys are way too experienced to be missing rules and awards. If you think an award is wrong, stop it. Ask a question. Get it right before you move on. If a coverage or rotation is blown, hustle into position and get the play covered, and then discuss it on the way home or in the parking lot. Let's try not to have any discussions in the middle of the field about who did this and who did that and who didn't do what they should have done. Work hard. Appreciate the assignment that you have. Have fun. The next 3 weeks is why we work in the fall and the spring. You represent all of us when you are there, and show them why ODUA got the assignment in the first place. The crew chief must contact all partners as the assignment is made. It could be 10 or 10:30 at night, but you need to pick up the phone and call. Probably be a good idea to have your computers on, this next week, at night. Discuss and understand any travel arrangements if you're going on the road. In case of rain, the crew chief must communicate with the crew, and conversely, the crew should communicate with the crew chief. That will eliminate the number of calls that are coming to Greg Walls. And it's the crew chief's responsibility to communicate with the crew of any deviations or changes. When the game is over, the crew chief contacts Greg Walls of any issues, reports any game scores. We probably do need to report game scores in playoffs because he needs to know who's advanced, and tell him of any situations that have occurred. Warnings, anything that has occurred, he needs to be apprised of it. Fellas, that's all I got for you tonight.
Hey, Al.
Is on the three-man. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
There's a couple of things that came up that are pretty good help. Pretty good questions. And the first one is basic positioning of U3. If we have runners on first and second, then obviously U3 is Al, can you make that screen you have right there bigger, please?
Yeah, as soon as I find that screen with runners at first and second.
That's all right. I'll tell you what, bear with me just a second. That's all right. I'm going to yank
runners
it.
At first and second. I got it.
Let's see.
There it is.
I got it. I got it on my screen now. If if the let's see, if runners are at on first and second, then there's a question has been maybe some confusion about, we talk so much about toes at the edge of the grass and all that kind of stuff. But if runners at first and second, think about, this doesn't help us at all. Number one, if you see my spotlight there, doesn't help us if we're here. We want to be up here on this tangent line, same as we always talk, and approximately in the same spot as you are in two-man mechanics, because we got to fight to get this angle on the steal of second base. on the steal of third base. We're in the same scenario that we are in a two-man crew. So a couple guys asked, we don't want to be way back here. We want to be up here and being able to get that angle at third base. With runners on first and third, then you'll be back a little bit further, but still, we're not back here. Can't be in the ways of shortstops coming across and cutting and that kind of stuff. So we'll still be in this general area, a few steps back from where you were with runners on first and second. That was the first clarification. Bear with me a second.
Greg, we usually say with runners on first and third when we teach it that it's C minus a step, regular C minus a step.
Well, there you go. I was going to get not going to give you pluses and minuses, but there you have it. C minus 1.
Okay. Just gonna because somebody's going to ask.
Yeah, so that is the term. There's another question. Do you want U3 to be in deep C or deep B when R1 is at first base? I think we've taught for forever that with a runner on first only, that U3 is going to be over in this area where my highlighter is, and that's probably the place where we want you. The reference there is, do we want you over here? No, I want you right here where we've been teaching it for years, even though there may be a little bit of a transition over here within the mechanics, but we're going to do it over on this side. Another question was, in three-man mechanics, does anything change if we have runners going going on the pitch, going in motion on the pitch? The answer is no. Everything stays the same. We just got to run a little harder whenever that happens. And the last question that I saw was, if we have a double steal, runners at first and second, and a double steal, and then how does the crew handle the mechanics? The answer is pretty simple, actually. U3 always has, if the umpire that's in the middle always has the first responsibility in the first play, and so if the play goes from the catcher and the throw goes to third base, he's always got that one. If the throw from the catcher goes to second base, he always has that one. If the throw goes to third base and you're working with the first base guy that's slick enough to be able to get all the way in here and potentially help you with a throwback on a second play, you can do that. But the bottom line is that U3 is responsible for everything that goes on in the center of this field, whether it be here or whether it be here, unless he hears from U1 that he's got behind him for the second play. But a good rule of thumb is U3 is responsible for it. I have not seen any other questions come about from that. Carilli is going to go over some basic principles on four-man quickly, and then we will wind it up and pretty quickly after that.
You giving me control, Greg?
Yep. You just got to show your screen.
Right. What do I got to do that?
Hit a button that says show my screen.
All right. Do you see my
Yep. I see your screen.
All right. Do you see my? I'm trying to make it so I don't have the rest of this crap on here. I got to do a view.
Hold on.
Hang on. There we go. That'll work. No, it won't.
All right, it's all right. I got it. I'll bring it back. Hold on. I got it. Go right ahead. I got it.
All right, you got it. I was going to do the same thing. Okay. Four-man is basically three-man with an extra guy. And if we think about basic outfield coverage, and so anybody knows, I actually stole this from Seeley because he gave it to us the other day. When U2's in the outside of the diamond, so that would mean when there's nobody on base, basically, or there's a runner on third only. When U2's on the outside, he has everything in the V, and you one and you three have fly balls down the line, so the plate guy has no outfield